everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have another 2v2 matchup for you, and let's get right into introducing these players. We have Crackety is here, the resident pro of the 2v2 ladders. You'll be seeing him casting live on AGC, going live on Twitch, and also playing in the upcoming pro tournaments, every single one of them. Would highly recommend checking out his content on Twitch, and when he's streaming / casting on EGC TV, he's a blast to watch, play, and cast the game. He's also playing the Ottomans in the yellow, so maybe we'll see a little bit of something for those late game Ottomans and see if all those titles in the YouTubes are correct. Across the way, his partner is Risky, playing in the green as the French. Now, Risky is a high-level Conqueror player, currently sitting at Conqueror 3, so can definitely hold his own in team games. Down below, we have Telling Arc 36587 in the purple as the French. Also can hold their own in team games as well, and they are currently Conqueror 2, and then down below, Conqueror 1, and then down below we have a name, unfortunately, that I cannot pronounce, playing as the Red Malians today, and that is, they are also Conqueror level 2, so definitely high level lobby. Should be a very, very interesting game. I'm very interested, one, of course, in terms of see how this late game Ottoman plays, as in hopefully we get to late game Ottoman. We are going for a military school start, but that is pretty standard against anything with French on the map. And then, honestly, French and Ottomans, I mean, they're going to be able to take control late game for sure. That French is going to provide a nice front line with all of those knights. And then, of course, the Ottomans can really start to cook if left alone. They're also very, very good in the early going. Now, across the way, the Malians are no one to be tamed with. Of course, they can also go for a beautiful trade route. We see the trade post right over here, and it's right actually in the way of this early pit mine. So actually could be a perfect positioning for a Sahara trade network to, one, protect the pit mine, and then two, get that value of every trade that goes by them. Now, we can also see that the French could also begin trading pretty early on. This is a very ideal map for it, so we'll have to wait and see. And honestly, trading is incredibly viable in 2v2, especially if you have a partner that just so happens to have pretty early map control with knights. So this is really going to be a tale of the tape between Risky's French and Telling Arc. Whoever can get the most control early on will definitely be sitting in a very, very good spot. Now, if you have made it 3 minutes into this game, if you are enjoying the content, please do leave a like and subscribe. The likes help me out a ton. It helps me get to more and more people, so I would highly, highly appreciate any of that. And also, drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know who you're thinking this early on into the game. Which matchup are you liking? And then on top of that, let me know. Let me know which civilization you're most excited for, and then let me know which civilization you're not most excited for. I think I actually asked what civilization of the new expansion you're most excited for. So let me know in this one which ones you're not most excited for. Either it can be playing-wise, it can be going against them. Just let me know. And actually, a little bit of a trade-off here from Risky. Decides to send the 3 over yonder to start building this house, and then the mine itself. So just a slight delay on that school of cavalry, so it actually might be a few seconds behind. Yeah, it is behind the cavalry school down here, but it deemed it was an important trade-off, so I think it will work out just fine. Cracky is going for that, pretty much that early infrastructure. We do see some stone going down, so we might be seeing a little bit we'll see if he gets more than 100 stone, 150-ish. Then he will probably just be going for more military schools, or that it might be going for a quick second expansion. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if he pulls them off. Nope, they're still going to town, so maybe get to 150. I will say the twin minaret, Madris over here looking nice. It also provides a little bit of safe food, which is always good against the French with all those knights that are constantly going to be harassing you. So it's definitely good for the Ottomans to have. And on top of that, the Ottomans are producing non-stop spearmen. And where are they going? They're going over, where are we meeting? We are meeting, we're just poking, we're just seeing what's going on, we're just scouting the map, nothing too crazy. So we do like to see that from Crackety, and then all that safe food will slowly start to be collected off these berries. Crackety now moving a lot of these villagers over to wood to get as much as possible. Going to be setting up that infrastructure. Would not be surprised to see the 2 archery ranges. Oh, they could be over here too. I don't know why I'm just archery. Yeah, but let's just circle archery ranges. We're probably going to see some stables, and then we're going to probably see. We're of course going to see the blacksmith in the middle, and maybe over here because it's a little bit closer to TC. We'll be seeing some extra military schools. Who knows? But we can focus on other people on the map. Let's go take a peek, see at the red Malian player, whether they're going out. Looks like we're going to be seeing a cow boom. And actually, I was correct. This air trade network is dropped on the front side. So I still think that will be in range of this trade line, if I had to guess. I think just barely. But they'll be taxed away. So you know what? I'm getting used to these 2v2s the more we do, and they're also a blast. They have instant combat all the time, and there are the first couple of knights. It looks like Risky is going to be defending his 2 with the other 2. A scout takes an unfair little heater to the side, but no worries at all. We see that the spearmen are over here. If they can actually collect a hit, they get one hit because they took the long way around. They're actually dealing with a wolf who did some serious damage, 19 a pop to each of these gentlemen. That wolf means business. 2 knights for each player, and more will constantly be coming out. You can see that Crackety Scout's actually catching a few strays over here, is saved just in time at 2 health, so will retreat quite quickly, but that is a dead man walking. We see that Crackety's already going for some walls made out of wood. Wow, that took me far too long. Let's go back to the action. It's just going to be microing back and forth, see if anyone can get a cheeky charge off before the other person notices. The answer is none. So wood walls going up. So we might actually be seeing Crackety go for a pretty quick Imperial Age. I don't think it's going to be as quick as a traditional, as the drongo build, stuff like that. I wouldn't try to see if he builds some military first, just to really secure himself. There are the 2 archery ranges, as I thought we would be seeing. We did see also the 2nd military school, so just a nice robust army. But what I was saying is I don't think we'll be seeing the fast quote-unquote Imperial Age, so just going there without any defenses. That is incredibly risky in 2v2, especially versus French and Malian counterparts. You can't just be going fast imping, especially if your teammate needs your help. So Crackety is going to be providing some services, for some military services, just to make sure they're in a good spot. That way Risky doesn't get absolutely wrecked by the oncoming onslaught of the Malians and the French player over here. That being said, this Malian player is straight chilling, producing nothing but cattle, and I'm assuming we're going to start to see trade pretty soon. We'll have to wait and see. And here we go. We have a nice army over here for Crackety and Risky. And then down below, we have the Telling Arc Knights, just trying to find some way in. But that being said, this army can definitely push these off. This meta is incredibly important to have with these spearmen. But Donzos are here to stay. Don't know if you heard that, but that was just my dog just getting a little bit comfortable underneath my desk. Well, he doesn't really fit under there, but he's trying. He's quite large dog breed, so I don't think he's going to be able to fully fit, but he's doing his best. Now, they're trying to burn down this mill actually up front, and really cuts off a whole bunch of deer. There's a lot of food left on the map at that point, and we've actually just determined that there's enough horsemen here to just... Knights here just to, you know what, we're going in regardless. I don't care if you have a tower there, you cannot expand that freely. Now they're going to go back, trying to do some damage. I do like this play over here from Telling Arc, trying to take down the reinforcements. There's a few exposed archers in the backhand side and a Sipahi. They're doing their absolute best. One knight does go down, but this over here, Crackety's forward forces were cleaned up quite well, and the Donzos are getting involved. Let's see if they can pick up one more knight. Unfortunately for Risky, actually dives in on some Donzos, which is a quick death. And at the same time, though, it looks like Telling Arc is going to be doing the exact same thing. Diving in on Spearmen is never going to be the best, but these Donzos are definitely proving to be incredibly valuable as they take down more and more of these knights. But this backline of archers with this meta is proving to be a little bit too strong at the current moment for them to fully lean back. And that's what I do love about this Crackety build so far. You can see definitely setting himself up for a relatively... I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to go for a Castle Age, but just provides himself enough of an army so he can actually get involved in these early skirmishes, especially going against other French players. French players love to go for all knights and constant aggression, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of this French player. There's no desire, no idea of going for a fast expand. We just have nothing but gold, nothing but food. But one of the good things about playing against the French is you can really reduce their food count. So if they start to scout these over here, they've already taken away these deer up front. So they can put them into a very precarious situation quite soon if they're able to, like if Risky's able to go and scout out this, that would almost be game over if that was scouted. It's incredibly hard as a French player early on to really keep up with the food production across the map until you go for a kind of a safer food transition. No one is trading just yet, but I will say I do see the outlines over here. So it looks like Risky and Crackety will be the first ones to actually get the trade down safe and sound. We're starting to see a bunch of walls going in as well. A sizable archer's army rolling in for Crackety, and that's the exact counter to literally every single unit on here. Looks like we're going to have a friendly game of not shooting anyone. There we go. Finally starts to shoot, getting in as much as possible before people start to get taken away, but actually going after these villagers, which is incredibly important. This Sapai is going to be going down. The next will be the Metter if they do focus fire. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Take it down quickly. Just snipe it. Snipe it while you're in your keep. But it looks like Risky's going to be leading the charge. And oh my goodness, those villagers decide to just end their whole career. Decide to quickly jump back in. But now they're running for the hills. They will get out of there. 1 will go down. 2 will go down. 3 will go down. And 4. 1 will survive. Made the mad dash, but only be poked down by Sapahi under tower. Just kidding. That French TC is providing a lot of safe cover. Now it will be ended. No, saves again. The one that lives. The one that lives yet again. Oh, a little side shot right there. It is all over. But they lived a lot longer than I thought they would have. So kudos to them. They really played the map well. But now we are fully diving this TC. And it's going to be incredibly hard for the French player to kind of survive. More and more villagers are going down. This is exactly what you want to do if you are playing in a 2v2 game. If you sense that there's blood in the water or someone's setting up for something that is not has a lot of aggression in the early goings, then you will be sitting in a very, very good spot. But a lot of villagers are safe and sound over here. So if they don't scout this out, the French player is not out in any means, and they still have plenty of villagers up front. They are definitely behind. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend they're not behind. We can see that Crackety is going for the Imperial Armory. Do we see anything out of our Risky? Doesn't look like he's floating anything at the current moment. We do see a scout. Does know what's going on. It doesn't look like the Malian player is really too bothered. We don't have the full transition just yet, but we will be seeing it quite quickly. And I'm assuming it's going to be being dropped any moment now. Let's check out the resources. It looks like plenty of gold. Just food is not on the menu just yet. So they will be coming, but plenty of pit mines, plenty unscathed, and now the Donzo numbers are getting quite large, and hopefully can get this French player back in the game. I will say that was a great attack and definitely put Crackety and Risky in the driver's seat, but if they don't find this soon, if they don't find this at all, then the French player will be able to get back into this game and feel pretty comfortable with where they are at in the game. Yes, of course, like I said, they are behind, but the good news about the French is that they're always in it when they have some knights. Now, Crackety and Risky do smell blood in the water, and they will be engaging onto this Donzo mass, but honestly, not something you really want to be engaging on if you are the French player. Risky quickly backing off. More villagers to the good going over to Crackety and Risky. I said to the good, I don't know, it's just an expression. I am not rooting for anyone in particular, but this will be a good trade though. Some Donzo's getting in on these knights. But these archers are playing such a pivotal role, and now the knights are moving out onto them. They're going to be taking down the Sapahi, and more knights will be traded out. So honestly, not the worst trades ever. And these Donzos, imagine if they didn't have the ability to throw these javelins. It'd be so much worse. And now the Donzos are finally moving out. But they are able to at least defend this TC at the very, very least. And as I mentioned before, there's still plenty of things going down, but trade is on the menu. This French player already has 6 traders out and going. I wouldn't be surprised to see Crackety add a few stacks of trade posts as well. And we can see that the Malian player is looking for the same exact thing. Also giving up some food and some berries over here. So they will be able to provide a lot of protection. As you can see, the score is looking pretty good for this Malian player. So with the right engage, they can get a decent trade-off, and they'll be right back into this game. That's what 2v2s is all about. It's all about just that, taking that one fight that sets you up for a very, very good time. You can see the cast ledge is almost going to be dinged for our Malian player, which is going to be, he can be able to absolutely cook in terms of food. Trade is being produced where? Where is it? Huh. I might be going crazy, but maybe that's just like on the whole map. I'm not sure. But we can see that the French player is not sitting at the best 32 at the current moment. Risky sitting at 60. Crackety is sitting at 49 and 48. So do we have actually, no, it's just the power of the French and this one TC. I don't see another TC on the map just yet. Nope, they're just pretty much hard chilling. Oh, they have such an advantage because of these traders. So they have 4 and 4 alike. But the Malian player is definitely setting up for a trade of their own with this huge wall off going in. But Cracky's probably feeling pretty good, and I'm excited to see Imperial Age late game. Now here is this is exactly the fight I'm talking about. Broadsiding a group of archers like this. This is exactly the fight that they were looking for. There's even some Janissaries in there. They are getting cooked a little bit, but that is a great little pick off for this. And the Donzas are over here. And the javelin throwers are in as well. They're trying to snipe this meta down. Once that goes down, the glow will go away. And there we go. We can see the Donzas are providing a decent front line. And that's exactly the kind of trade I was talking about. It just takes one person moving across the map in one different way. And I'm not saying that they're right back into the game in terms of they're back in it and they can replenish those villagers. But that's the entire Crackety army down in one foul swoop. We can see that we do have some Janissaries and a Mangonel. But I wouldn't be surprised to see if Crackety is going for that Imperial Age. Nothing yet. Looks like it is spending up all those materials quite quickly. So nothing is going to be done. Nothing's going to be done about that just yet, but we will see. And there they go. The trade lines are going down for the French, and that is a quick way to get back into this game. Crackety is also setting up his infrastructure for trading. 3 markets are on the way. And you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing wallets thrown in each other's faces, and we're going to be seeing some quality fights between some expensive armies. We can only hope that we see those great Bombards rolling out. Gonna need some Springolds though to deal with this Mangonel, because that is going to be able to change the tides quite quickly. Risky has a very large grouping, is making the Royal Institute back here, has a huge grouping of knights. But the good news is there's a Mangonel in tow with some Janissaries, and they're looking pretty spooky at the current moment. And they can really do some damage. There's one knight going down for free. It does look like they have stopped this. It's going to be canceled, actually. Does not trust that in the slightest. And a few villagers now going down for Risky. They're going to be seeing if I would actually just go right into this trade line. Forget this TC. Go in for the trade. And we have constant units being spammed. And now, at this point, though, these knights can actually take out the reinforcements. Those are Donza's reinforcements, though. You do not want that smoke if you are the French player. It looks like they're actually going for the other tower guys, and they actually found this is huge for the Malians and the French. They're doing so much damage. Risky is getting torn wide open. And this is brutal for the base. The base is just, they're hoping that these Janissaries can provide some cover fire. The Mangonels are back here, and they're going to need to get some good shots onto these infantry units. And that is going to be, here we go. Let's go. Boom. Absolutely annihilates the javelin throwers. They're getting all corralled into this one little alley, and it is Death Alley. Look at that. How many dead bodies are in that one alley? Now they're shooting up and over the TC, getting good shots left and right. Risky is using his knights to just defend these Mangonels at all costs, which is exactly the play you want to be doing. So just as I was mentioning how good this game has been, for how good of a comeback that was by the French and Malian player, it then turned right back around. They overextended a little bit, and these Mangonels did so much damage when they clumped up. Risky is able to finally go cast Lage in the safety back here. We have some idle traders going on. What are these lads doing? Y'all just don't want to work, or like what is... We're just not feeling it. We're just like, we're just going to sit here. The caravan's on strike. Like, what is happening, everyone? We don't want to do it anymore? That's fair. I mean, I get that. I mean, there are some javelin throwers in the way, but I don't think that's anything to stop trade for. We can see that maybe that once these traders start to get to their end location, they'll start that. But look at the French player on the other side has a full trade setup going as well. And now we have a quick, what is this? There we go. We have a quick 5 apiece, or maybe 7 in total. I think that's more what it is, I believe, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it looks like it's more just where that is. So there we go. Risky's able to clean up everything. The traders get back on route. They're off strike. So it's always a good thing to see. And it looks like Telearch has finally made it to Castle Age. Welcome, lad. You've been a bit delayed, but this little side economy he's had going on this entire time is really keeping him in this game fully. A little bit surprised to see that the Malian player has not gone for any trade at all. A little bit precarious, especially because you went Sahara Trade Network. But it's not the end of the world, and you're making plenty of food and plenty of gold. Now, Crackety is floating a lot of food, so let's just hope, let's just fingers crossed we get to see some great Bombards on the map quite soon, because that's what we all want to see when we're seeing as the Malians. Looks like these relics are looking to be scooped up by all players, get even more passive income, decides to go for the middle one instead of the safe one behind walls. Probably assumes that that one is safe and is going to be his for sure. A keep is already up, securing even more of the stone on the map, so we're going to be throwing down probably even more keeps. And Risky is running some of these knights all the way through the base. Now we can see that they're looking for a little bit, just a little bit of free wood, so just going to take that into consideration. This Ottoman force looks pretty spooky. Cracky's quite chilling at this point, but that's a lot of Donzos. But this is going to be the telltale sign. Some nice dodges there. We do have 3 springholds though, so they're actually taking pot shots of this Sipahi, which is not exactly what you want them to be doing. But there they go. They're getting in range, but now they're back into it. And some nice kiting here back and forth, and Crackety is doing so much damage to this Malian army. There's no French forces here to support, and there's a mangonel, and it actually fires off right before Crackety realizes what's going down and causes a lot of damage in the front line. Even another mangonel shot is going to be going into it, doing even more damage. The knights are getting in onto this mangonel, and it looks like they're trying to get the springholds as quickly as possible. One mangonel still has not gone down, so Crackety is proving to be the king of the siege battle at the current moment, and more of these springholds will be going down before they take any pot shots of these 3 mangonels, which are still up and running. And there's a whole bunch of Jans in the front end side. We can see that Crackety is starting to float a lot of resources, thinking about that Imperial Age. Risky is just going for a pretty classic French cavalry. We can see that the Malian player does not have any thoughts at the current moment about going Imperial because he's facing a lot of damage going forward. The only thing that I have a worry for the Malian players, they're not going for trade just yet, so they might run out of resources faster than most, but another keep is going down, so really securing this right side of the map. Now we do have Arbs coming out for our purple player, and then we also have some mangonels in tow. Still, just we're having more and more traders pop out of all of these markets, and it looks pretty good. It looks like Crackety stopped making them, so didn't deem them to be a needed thing. Maybe he forgot about them, didn't want to deal with it. I don't know exactly the case, but we have stopped trade production on the back end side, so only a few traders going back and forth, and there it is. The Istanbul Observatory is going down for Crackety, so we're going to be seeing some great Bombards quite soon. That forward tower doesn't have a chance in hell of going up, and it's quite quickly eradicated on the back end side of things. Now, we do have 3 mangonels and 3 springholds, so a nice little army over here, and as you can see, that knight goes down quite quickly to the Donzos, but that's about it. And it's going to be a springhold battle versus 4 mangonels for Crackety. Crackety has now dinged that Imperial Age, so once these Janissaries have those golden helmets, it's going to be very tough to deal with them. These knights are trying to get a flank, but you can see the Donzos really have read every move, and now the mangonels, their slow swivel turn and absolutely decimates that front line. The Donzos are desperately getting in their way, trying to make sure that they get onto these mangonels, and it's mangonel versus mangonel. The springholds are doing their job. They're completely eliminating the siege on the other side, and there's a few mangonels that are still alive. The Donzos are going back quickly as they possibly can to prevent the green knights from actually dealing so much damage, but those forces were annihilated, so a great fight there for the Malians and the French player. and Crackety is in full retreat, but you got to imagine that there are Bombards on the way. Nope, still, there's not Bombards in the way. I tell a lie. They are not coming just yet, but they will probably be switched up quite soon. More traders are now coming out. I can see, yes, there they are. Now the traders are in full swing. We're going to get that cash flow going. Arbs are up, but not too many. We have keeps everywhere. 2 keeps in quick succession over here, but they're only defending a little bit of gold, and they are defending one of the relics. So this Malian player is crossing every T and dotting every I, making sure that they have control of every part of the game that they are feeling they need to, which we do love to see. Both armies are flocking down towards the middle. Cracky is providing a very solid base, has 6 meters in the back. So you know what, as everyone talks about snipe the meter, well, you know what, there's 6 of them, so good luck sniping all of them before the damage is done with these elite Janissaries. Now look at the golden helmets, gold on gold, swag out the window. What are these little guys back here? Some veteran archers. I mean, this is the definition of varsity versus JV. I don't know if that is across a normal convention across the world, but here in America, in high school, we have varsity, which is the main team, and then JV, which is the backups. So, you know, in case one of these lads gets injured, we do have someone to step up into their place, but these golden Janissaries are definitely going to be dealing the brunt of the damage in this next fight. This Mangonel is going to play a pivotal role, but as we saw last time, there's plenty of Springholds to deal with them, and more are on the way, and you can only imagine more will be produced because they know that there it is. The Great Bombard is going to be rolling out eventually, and you do not want to be dealing with that without Springholds. Honestly, you want to be dealing with that without Culverins, Springholds, Bombards yourself. You need to deal with it with some way. We do see a wall is going up. The Malian wall, definitely the coolest wall in the game so far. We never know what happens with the expansion, but Risky did get some knights in the back end side. Might be able to cause a little bit of annoyance, but the Arbs have found them. Only 2 of them though, so it's going to take quite some time to kill them off. And this is so worth it for Risky. 4 knights are killing off so many villagers, and this is not what you want to see if you are purple. But at this point, purple has fully transitioned to a trade economy, so feeling very good. 22 total active traders, so they're feeling quite nice. At this point, though, Crackety is moving out. Crackety and Risky are moving out in the middle of the map. The knights as the back line, the Jans, well, they're the front line, but the Jans are in the front line. Going to be sniping a Mangonel quite quickly. Now the Springholds are running for their lives. Hightailing out. Let's see if they turn around, turn and burn for this one Mangonel. There it goes before it even fires off. And now the Donzos are feeling quite confident they can get in onto here. This Mangonel itself is also looking to see if it can do some damage onto these Janissaries. A few do go down, so that's well worth it. A keep is up, and now this wall is blocking off any entrance over here. So this keep will be a pivotal point of attack in the middle, and you can see that the Malian player is also eliminating all resources from over here. But at this point, resources seem to be but a figment of the imagination with the amount of trade that's going down for each of these players. And where's the first Great Bombard? Where are you at? You take forever to get out. We want to fight. We want to see the capability of the Ottomans. We know how good they've been in the 1v1 scene, especially going for that Imperial Age. Let's see if they can match that energy in 2v2s. Now, this Malian player is really good. They are expanding everywhere. The only thing I'm like I said, just a little bit confused by is there's no traders. There's not feeling traders. They want to get gold the old-fashioned way. They want to mine it up yonder. Plenty of gold up there for them to deal with. Now we have Arbs everywhere, which is going to be very good. We only have veteran Donzos though, so they have not been upgraded yet. Where is this upgrade? Is it coming in? It is not. It might have been a mistake, like it may be a misclick at this point. If you have this many Donzos, there they are. It just dings at this exact moment of the engage. The Arbs are trying to do a lot of damage. There is one Mangonel over here. If we can get another nice shot in onto this entire map, that would be incredibly good. And there it goes. It kind of misses, I'm not going to lie, but it is still alive and well on the back end side. If it can go in onto this, that would be ideal. Again, it misses. You got to broadside this army, but it looks like they might be able to hold these guys back at this point, and there it goes finally into the meat of the army. and more knights are looking to get around. Risky's trying to find his way in onto the siege backline, but it's not the case. This mangonel is doing so much damage to everything, and this keep is providing a nice back end. And another one, Kraken actually moves forward, says, you know what, forget that, I'm going for the mangonel. But these Janissaries are very, very squishy, and they will be eradicated by the Arbs and the Knight combo, and the Keep combo. And the Malian and French player will live to live another day. It's finally trading season for the Malians. Trading season is in full effect back here as well. The wealth of riches going on is absolutely insane from all players. And we can see some idle time. They're like, well, I guess we don't really need us anymore. We have traders, so there it is. And the first rams on the map as well. Going to be causing some damage to these stone walls. Now here we go. Another engage. Where is the Bombard? There they are. Arrives at the 30-minute mark. Rolling out looking like a Ferrari. We don't have anyone inside. So is not going to be getting that juice, that boost, if you will. But that's all good. No need to worry at all. And now this is where the damage can really start to begin. There are some spring holds there, so if it gets a little bit too far forward, it can be sniped, which is going to be brutal. And there we go. It's taking pot shots. It is setting itself up. Some nice shots there from the spring hold. So down to half health quite quickly, and can actually go in one more time if it's so inclined. And there the spring holds go. There's the Grand Bombard. It's almost down, so these spring holds are turning and burning. Does not get a shot off. So some nice micro there from the Malian player. Crackly loses that Great Bombard. Risky's providing some front line with these knights, but there's so many Arbs here that it's hard to deal with. There's so many Janissaries though, and now we're doing Janissaries on Musafati Gunners. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath either way. These arms are not fully upgraded. They're still Castle Age at this point, so both French players really went all in to protect early game, and now they're banking on their allies for late game. I wouldn't be surprised to see though if the French player is just waiting. Oh no, they're using it pretty well. Let's see about Risky. Risky's floating a little bit of food, but that's wood. That's about it. And we can see that the Malian player is sitting on a lot of food, and there are two Great Bombards now. Oh, look at those gunners just run up there. They don't care at all. Snipes off a Great Bombard for their troubles. Rams are also in tow. And we have more mangonels trying to drop it like it's hot onto these Janissaries. They decide to run away. Just stand and fight at that time. You're already done and dusted. These Janissaries are doing so much work. I love the yellow on yellow. The Rams are coming in. And now the Arbs are looking to roasty toasty these Janissaries away. But that one Great Bombard is in the broadside of this army. And one more shot. Here we go. Boom. Absolutely catastrophic. And if they can get a mass of these Great Bombards, another one has entered the fray, and they're one-shotting towers like they don't even exist. Something tells me that Ottomans are very, very good late game in 2v2s as well, and they're showing it right here. This Malian player is trying to get these gunners up to as much as they quickly can, but look at how much damage they do, and they get eradicated off the map. Hello, goodbye, nice to meet ya. Rams are in on these keeps, and here comes the Great Bombards. Risky has dinged Imperial Age, and I don't think I'm going to get a breath until this game ends. That is A-okay with me. Two keeps are firing in onto this army, but one is going to be going down quite quickly with the Great Bombards deciding that you no longer need to stand and fight. There it goes. Great Bombards take its anger out on one javelin thrower. We love to see that. And more will be in tow quite shortly. The gunners are moving out, but they can't get close enough to the Bombards anymore. And the Bombards have realized that those are the threat at the current moment, and they will continue to take them on. Risky's providing a front line and we have Rams and Knights and Horsemen actually. These are Castle Age Horsemen, so they will be upgraded quite soon, but the Bombards are left unprotected or unperturbed. They're not really getting impacted in the slightest. Janissaries are roasting all those Donzos, and there they are. They're onto the keeps. They actually turn and fight because they actually want to save their front line as best they possibly can. They know that they can get sniped if they are able to get back there, and now they're in onto this next keep, and they do a whopping 800 damage per shot, and there it goes. Boom. And 3 more shots, and it should be down. There we go. There we go. And it actually doesn't need to shoot, but it will. And it looks like we're pulling the villagers trying, but that's the Janissaries sitting right there going, absolutely not. You would have thought. And another keep is going to be in the sights of these Great Bombards. There should be actually probably one more on its way, rolling its way over. There it is. just like a nice little Cadillac rolling across the map. And look at how quickly they decimate these keeps. That is a ton of resources invested in these keeps, and it does absolutely nothing. And as they can see, this is exactly what you want to do. This is just time to protect these. A culverin comes out and snipes one of these bad boys. And there we go. Cracky's going to see this quite quickly. He's probably at home right now, macroing, and decides to dip. And there they go, the Janissaries versus the Gunners. And Risky's providing a little bit of a front line on the back end side. But this Malian player is going for broke, trying to take down that great Bombard. But these Janissaries are opening firing on this entire Malian army. I don't think it can do much more at this point. And just things being thrown at them. One great Bombard is still up and is taking down every single piece of infrastructure that the French player has. And there's still so much trade going on in the backhand side. And another great Bombard has entered the scene. Crackety is showing that this Ottoman late game is nothing to be sniffed at. And we can see that the Red Palace has gone down up front. And there is more siege workshops going down, and it looks like his job is to build some rams. Rams will be the next kind of coveted thing going forward, and that the Rams with these great Bombards, it's going to be very hard to kill off this army, especially with the Ottoman power of just constantly producing non-stop. They get tons and tons of free units. So no worries at all. And finally, the French player goes Imperial Age, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late. We can see that the keep is going down quite quickly. The great Bombards are being saved. Don't want to lose those in the slightest. And now they're going to be readjusting and just shooting the keep anyways. The Janissaries are moving in on these culverins, going absolutely not. You cannot take down this again. And we're just going to fire you down like we have machine guns. They're just getting slowly poked down. The Sahara Trade Network would be powerful at one point, and there is the GG's. What a game. Late game Ottomans is so good. The Malian player tried so much to keep them in that game, but some nice pressure early on from Crackety and Risky to get the W. Guys, if you did enjoy this gameplay and you want to see more 2v2, smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe if you are liking the content. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great night.